Greetings, she's Beth O'Malley, I'm Tom Timmermann, and welcome to a demoralizing edition of STL Soccer Talk here at stltoday.com and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
I guess I shouldn't smile.
No, we will, only if you were going to celebrate in the outcome.
Why are we so demoralized?
Well, there have been losses this season in which City has played worse.
Yes.
Games in which they have played worse. And this wasn't even a loss, but I don't think there is a result that has been as kind of gut-wrenching as the one was on Saturday night in Portland, where they were ahead 2-0, 3-1, 4-2, and came away with a tie with the Portland Timbers, one of the teams they are chasing for a playoff spot. It was not what they wanted, and it was not what they wanted in the worst possible way. Because you could play ties and maybe you scored in the last minute and okay, but no. I mean,
this is one of those ties that feels like a loss.
It feels like worse than a loss, I would say, from my point of view, as I look at how they should feel, because this is a team that needs to win a lot of games. This was a game they should have won, and this was a team that didn't win that game, and it makes everything. Their chances were thin, and this didn't help them at all.
It's a little bit like playing whack-a-mole. It seems like the team has figured out some of the offensive problems they were having earlier this year, but now there are defensive issues or issues in other places on the field that need to be whacked back down.
Yeah, I mean, and the defense, this is the third time in I think 5 MLS games.
I'll give it to you.
That they've allowed 4 goals. And it's the 4th in 9 overall where they have allowed 4 goals. That's just not good by any standard.
Right.
And, I mean, amazingly, if you look at expected goals, so what the numbers say a team should have scored, I mean, it was even worse. I mean, Portland's expected goals was 5.6.
That's massive.
Which is gigantic.
Yes.
I mean, it is 2 whole goals more than the most ever in a City SC game for an opponent. I mean, that's a lot. And, I mean, some of that was a save by Henry Kessler on a surefire goal. I think the XG on that one was like 0.86 or something. But still, that's just, you can't do that. The offense is going great. Marcel Hartl, 3 assists, only the second player in MLS history to have 3 assists in his first MLS game, because those Leagues Cup games don't count.
Right.
But, they just can't stop a team from scoring. And that is why they are where they are today.
So the postseason is looking slightly dimmer than it did even as the game began.
Because that's the thing. If they had won that game, I mean, the chances were still slim, but they were less slim. Yeah, I mean, Portland is one of the teams they are trying to catch.
Right.
And so that would have been good in that way, because you want to beat the teams that you're trying to catch, to deny them points. But no. And so they're 10 points back out of the last spot. And you say, well, 10 points, that's 3 games, 3 wins and a tie. But that assumes the other team isn't doing anything.
And the other teams are all doing things.
There's a bunch of teams ahead of them that are playing game. So they have to get 3 wins more than those other teams in the last now 8 games. And as you can see, since those teams play each other, they basically need everyone to start playing to ties every day. That's what they need. And every time they play an Eastern Conference team, to lose the game.
So they need every team to suddenly become St. Louis City.
Indeed they do. That would be what it takes.
We're going to talk about this and a lot more on the podcast.
Indeed we will. Indeed we will. And St. Louis U beat Indiana and is ranked in the top 10. So there, non-demoralizing soccer news here on the video.
As they say, we're ending on a bright note.
Ending on the bright, and the SLU women are also, I think they're like 15th, or they're somewhere in the top 25.
Yeah. Had a couple of ties to start the season.
Yeah, so look at that. City SC, maybe not so much. And City 2's having a pretty good season as well. But we'll talk about this, as Beth said, we'll talk about this more. For Ali Shallert, producer, who the suffering she goes through to do these, she is actually wearing a coat right now as we do these. But for Ali, for Beth and me, until next week, I'm Tom Timmermann, BC.